Right, who's that then? Anybody know? Carefully avoiding the symbol. There's another clue. And there's the full answer. Jan Matejko, 1838 to 1893. This is the character that he painted in one of his famous paintings. There he is with his giving the game away palette and his brush. So he looks like he did look in his atelier, putting together his jolly old works. It's an interesting street, and I don't think I've filmed it before, which is why, even though I'm not sure about the quality of the light I'm filming it now, you can see that little jeweller's shop there. It looks like a castle. There's two castles. There's another one just down there that looks as well as a little bit castle-y, but of a different type, almost like a Czech tower, slightly down there with a clock on it. And between these two, here is a park with a sort of, I suppose that's a church or something down there. I don't know exactly what it is. It all looks quite interesting. There's a little playground in there for kiddie winkies as well. And you have a three. I've always quite liked Pulawska Street, and at one time I thought, well, maybe I would live on it, but turned out that I wasn't ever destined to live per se or work on Pulawska itself, although I do like it when I get the opportunity to come here. I suppose that's why I picked my bank on here. The bank, Citibank Handlover, is my branch just over there. And yeah, I just been there. And that was quite an experience. They told me to come in so that they could save me some money. And of course, all of the things which they proposed to me, I showed them one after another that they would actually not save me money, but involve me in more spending of money. And I explored with the girl there who was looking after me all of the things that they had, and all of the early finishing of loans options and things like that. And in the end, I see there's a stencil, the march for the freedom of hemp. Obviously they want to make hemp free. They're fed up of hemp being in prison, they want it free. So there's a bit of a wind. I hope my voice isn't getting overruled by gustiness. It's getting very cold actually. Nevertheless, don't have far to go. And like I say, I was happy to come down this street, and that's why, one of the reasons why I didn't change my bank off it, even though I've changed the sort of place where I work, so it's now a bit of an imposition to come here, but never mind. It being a nice place, I'm sticking with it. You see what it looks like up in that direction. I suppose that the trams are about to move, aren't they? I can move from here. But basically the time spent with the bank today, I went in, I don't know how long they thought they were going to spend with me, but they did spend an hour and 22 minutes by the end of the show that I put on for the benefit of the girl there. I should really have, well, I mean, in a sense, because it's your bank and it's supposed to be a little bit private, I couldn't really record it for YouTube, but it was really, had I been able to do so, of course it would have been in Polish, but the Polish, it would have probably been an instant hit along the lines of the one which I did when that woman tried to flog me something on the street, and I kind of like saw through her, and it was all on tape in Polish, and I put it on, and within 5 days it had gone to like almost 30,000 views. The only time that's ever happened to me, but this could have been another good candidate for it today, because I really did excel myself in talking to that girl. It went on for an hour and 22 minutes. I came out having signed something which cost me 50 zlotys and saved me 4,000 zlotys, but she wasn't in any hurry to show me all the products and things, I really had to wheedle it out of her. And I used every psychological trick in my repertoire to get there. So real pity that I couldn't show you that, because it would have been an exercise in how to deal with banks and get a bit more value for money out of them. But I was called in, I didn't start it, I was called in by somebody who said, I promised to save you money, so I just held them to their promise. With the threats that if they didn't save me money today, I would simply go and close one of my accounts down that I currently pay too much on. Well, I might well do that anyway, of course, but that's another matter. Nothing to stop me doing that. But another thing that early finishing off credits that I took a couple of years ago when I wasn't being paid for 6 months for reasons I went into in earlier shows, ladies and gentlemen, and that some of you may remember. I don't really want to get into again, there's no point. But now thankfully I don't have to worry that badly about them, and I can start paying a bit quicker, paying things off earlier, and make better use of the money rather than pay. So I did a quick calculation of the interest that I could save by doing it a certain way. Well, it saves me about 4,000 in interest, but apart from anything else, if I had simply gone for early settlement straight, rather than changing the contract terms by an annex, which is a lot cheaper, only costs 50 zlotys, that way I avoided the just by changing the number of instalments to the minimum available. I didn't save as much in interest as I'd saved if I paid the lot, but I can't pay the lot right now anyway. Really, I wasn't telling her that, but I can certainly pay a lot more per month than I was. So, and there, having done that, I've saved over 4,000 in interest and avoided the early payment penalty, which would have been 1,800 zlotys. So, depending on which way you look at it, I've either saved over 4,000, which is probably nearer the mark, or I've saved a theoretical 1,800, which I couldn't have got anyway. So, which would have saved even more, probably double that as well in terms of interest, but of course I didn't have it anyway, so there's nothing to talk about. But certainly, if I'd saved, not bothered going and hadn't got the information, I might have simply saved up money separately, paid according to the standard instalments until I had enough to pay it off early, then gone and paid it off early, and then had the 1,800 early settlement fee. Hang on, I've got to turn this off. I've just turned it off because I wanted to have a chat with that chap who's another chartered accountant, a friend of mine. He was qualifying, he's also from Britain, he's Anglo-Polish in his case, and he was qualifying about the same time as I did, came over about the same time as I did. In fact, he was slightly earlier than me over even, so I better, well, he's not going anywhere. So it's funny to see him walking down the road. So this is it. I can't say that Warsaw's a place that everybody knows my name. It's not exactly the Cheers bar, but certainly, a lot of people, once you've been in a place for like 20 years, you know quite a lot of people. Probably wonders why the hell I'm walking along filming. He did have that expression on his face of, what the hell's David James doing? But there you go. I could have kidded him on that I was making a dictation for the secretary to write her back in the office, but you know, he's probably not that stupid to have seen that this isn't a dictation machine. It's held at about the level just under my face like that, where I could be taking dictation, but never mind. It's part of my life, but part of my personality that I do this, and why would I hide it? And he's said that he was pretty busy, which is good. I like to hear that. If the competition are busy, then that's good, isn't it? That means we're all going to be busy. Wouldn't like to be busy and for the competition to be not so busy, because that means that they're going to be coming after the stuff that I'm busy with. Whereas if they're busy already and I'm busy, then everybody's happy, everybody's got enough to do. In his particular case, I've always left him alone. I've never gone after anybody that I know that I've known has been in his remit, even though I've known a few names of people. In this case, I've always left them be, because I've known the guy a long enough time. I don't really want to have see an unpleasant look on his face if he bumps into me in the street like just then. So I've never been aggressive in competition with that guy, so that when I say competition, I mean that more theoretically than actual sort of breakneck competition. There are people I can bump into that at least said soon as mended, but that guy's not one of them. And him and his partner that he's in business with, and that partner that he's in business with is actually on one of the films on this channel. When she was interviewed on TVN, I put that up. So that's how friendly I am to that firm. So no bitter rivalry going on there. Some people in business you're bitter rivals with, and others you're quite friends with, and can afford to leave them in peace. And he's definitely in the latter category, and I think I am for him as well. This is Drescher's Park Dreschera. This is Fran Drescher. No, it's not really Fran Drescher. Fran Drescher's rather better looking than that. Oh, that's George Sand. George Sand was of course Chopin's girlfriend. Yeah, George Sand was Chopin's girlfriend. I had no idea she went in for piercing. Anyway, and I didn't know that Simone de Beauvoir was like a very southern looking gentleman. Is that a gentleman? Hard to tell. I think if you have to ask, then it's already academic. There again, who that is, I don't know. But I did not know that Rosa Luxemburg worked in a chip shop. I do like the font that she's picked for her menu, though. Jadłospis. Looks very modern, even though the whole thing doesn't look that modern. It is a bit modern. It's more modern than it looks, because it's got post-communist. It looks very communistic, but the products are actually. This is going to get my film pulled, isn't it? Because I'm taking looks at people's photos, which are probably copyrighted and everything, and I didn't give any credit for it. I ought to probably go back and at least give credit for what this is, since I've now featured quite a bit of it. But it's not even written up, is it? Maybe it will be at the other end. If anybody knows whose work this is, they're very welcome to put it into the comments, and that's the best I can do, I think. Oh no, here we go. It's coming up. Oh, Susan Sontag. Is that Susan Sontag? Is that really Rosa Luxemburg? In that chip shop? What does it say? Człowiek najszybciej I najlepiej uczy się ucząc innych. This is very good. This is a great thought. A person learns best and fastest when he teaches someone else or other people. He or she, of course. A person learns best and fastest when he or she teaches other people. That's a very profound thought from this chip shop person. That's really good. And Susan Sontag here says a woman's beauty is a form of power. So there we go. She must have been very beautiful at one time, because they say that absolute power corrupts, and she has a rather kind of corrupted beauty, as it were. Not corrupted in the sense of financial corruption, but kind of like not quite as beautiful as she maybe once was. So this is a person called Ludmila Holub. Holub is of course the Czech word for pigeon. That doesn't stop it being a Polish surname too. There you are. It's like a plant. It looks like a carnation, but when it comes to the end, it's actually a blob of either paint or blood, presumably paint. And Galeria po prostu is another word for the fence of Drescher Park, Fran Drescher's Park. And there we are. That's obviously that person's work. Bez goździka, without a carnation. Or, and this is a play on words, it could be the lilac of the carnation, but since I don't see any lilac in the thing, it probably just means without carnation. Because bez means two things. It means either the plant, the lilac, or the elderberry. Your mother smells of elderberries. Or it means without. And this is the lady with her legs out and her tattooed arms and everything, who obviously did this work. So there you go, that's fully accredited now. Moja biografia nie jest obszernym zapisem dziejów mojego krótkiego życia czy moich nielicznych dokonań. My biography is not an exhaustive catalogue of the acts of my short life, or of my few achievements. Mam na imię Ludmiła. I am called Ludmila. It's a bit Russian. Not many Poles are actually called Ludmila. I have not yet finished, or I didn't finish any prestigious plastic school, which is an art school. Okay, doesn't mean a school where the teachers are like made out of Chinese plastic figures. Nie miałem wystaw. I haven't had any exhibitions, any specjalnych wyróżnień artystycznych. I didn't win any special artistic awards. Uczęszczałem do szkoły fototechnicznej w Mińsku. I took part in the phototechnical school in Minsk. I take it that probably means then Minsk Mazowiecki, rather than Minsk Białoruski. I mean the other way around, it's probably Minsk Białoruski, the capital of Russia, rather than Minsk Mazowiecki, so I can't imagine them having a special school for that. Oh, it's my bus. What a pity. I was enjoying that. Okay, so we get on the bus. Okay, today we're walking in Warsaw on ulica Pulawska, and we've seen this sign, no to corrupt. It's short for no to corruption. We're saying no to corruption in high office, comparing people that take bribes, these ministers that take bribes, to like the sorts of things that those three things look like. We're saying basically that corrupt people in office, government and what have you, they're basically knob-ends, like those hot dogs there look like knob-ends, and it's a way of saying no to corruption. It's a protest. So there we are. I wonder how many votes I'll get on Vicop for that one, if any.